So, for my topic today, I decided to debate why I think weight loss is a scam. I go into a bit of the medical bias surrounding weight loss and the social stigma and just the health implications of repeated weight loss. So, the stigma around being fat. People are discriminated against based on body size, and there is a myth that body shaming can be a force of positive. Fat-based discrimination, these are 4 examples. I cannot stress enough that this is the smallest bit of each of these, but in public life, overweight children are more likely to be bullied. This can lead to an increase in suicide later on. And in the workplace, overweight people are rated less likely to be employed. They are seen as less employable, and they are more likely to be hired over the phone versus in person. So when it's the same person and the same qualifications, they're more likely to be hired when the employer does not see them. And in the medical place, people who are overweight are more likely to experience a lower quality of health care. And in personal life, 89% of obese adults report having received some sort of verbal abuse from a partner. So the common argument is that fat acceptance is unhealthy, while fat shaming is better for the health of overweight people. So the health repercussions of fat shaming, nearly 60% increase in mortality rate compared with overweight individuals who report not experiencing fat discrimination, and there is an increase in weight gain, which is very counterproductive. The repercussions of being fat, of being overweight. Fat people are able to have healthy metabolic rates, which I will show you in my figure, and a healthy lifestyle is not always going to lead to somebody being quote unquote a normal weight, mostly because it's modeled around BMI, which is not an accurate measurement of overall weight or health. Here is that figure. As you can see, that light gray bar shows the rates of risk for different illnesses and diseases, as opposed to that dashed line, which is a medically healthy lean person. And my point with this graph is that fat shaming accomplishes nothing, because it is not a real indicator of if somebody is metabolically healthy or not. And it's also none of your business. And the health repercussions of being thin, which nobody seems to talk about. So people who are underweight experience higher mortality rates, and anorexia as a mental illness is the most deadly mental illness that we know of. And this can lead to extreme malnourishment. You can grow hair on your shoulders. It can develop things like IBS and Crohn's disease. So if being overweight is not necessarily unhealthy, while being underweight is, why do we focus on weight loss over lifestyle? Well, the weight loss industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry that promotes weight loss, and it feeds off of people's fears of being perceived as fat. So $254.9 billion is the weight loss industry's market, and 45 million Americans go on diets year to year, and 900,000 of these are predicted to sustain weight loss over a 2-year period. So here is a graph showing you how much weight a person will regain after 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years. As you can see, by year 5, they are predicted to have regained 75% and more. So if only 2% of those have what you could call a successful diet, then how does this affect the rest of someone's life? Well, this would lead to yo-yo dieting. So if they're one of the very few people who maintain weight loss over 5 years and they crash and burn, we can see that their metabolic efficiency and fuel utilization has decreased. And the longer that they maintained their weight loss, the more weight they are possible to regain. So weight loss methods are ineffective at maintaining weight loss for over a year. Studies show it is nearly impossible to maintain significant weight loss, especially over 5 years, and losing and regaining weight leads to permanent health issues, and maintaining weight loss through something like disordered eating or being underweight leads to an increased risk of death as opposed to being overweight at all. So my proposition is to end the stigma around being overweight. A majority of Americans are, and to prioritize nutrition, healthy, balanced diets, physical activity over weight, over BMI, which is, as we know, BS, and to ditch the diet industry as a whole. It profits off of abuse and off of insecurity, and in the long term, it will lead to worse health issues for the majority of people who decide to go in that route. So thank you. If you have any more questions, you can comment below. And if you're interested in this topic like I am, I would suggest The Obesity Myth by Paul Campos. And here are my references. Thank you for listening.